All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Serve Brew. I'm Tori Townley. I hope you're having an awesome day. We are in the thick of holiday season. Oh, my cat is here. So sorry. We are in the thick of holiday season, and you guys are probably all out there serving your community like crazy, or maybe you're looking for some fun ideas or inspiration. Maybe you have questions, and today is going to be a blast. It's going to be full of all those things. I have not one, not two, but three special guests today. I'm going to introduce them really quick, and we are just going to dive into all things holiday outreach from fall to Thanksgiving to Christmas and beyond. So, I'm going to just introduce you guys in order that I see you. Let's start with Natalie Salinas. Hi, Natalie.
Hello. I am with Grace Church in Houston, and I'm the community engagement pastor here.
Awesome. And go to question, what's your Starbucks order or your coffee? How do you take your coffee?
Okay, well, I'm going to be the crazy one because I don't drink coffee at all. I don't drink tea either. So
You
I
are a
drink
saint.
water.
She doesn't eat meat and she doesn't drink coffee. Wow, healthy goals. Okay. Well, thanks for being here on the Serve Brew coffee list. That's awesome. Cool. Pastor Pablo is a second time Serve Brew guest. What's up?
What a privilege to be here with you guys again. Yes, my name is Pablo Morales, and I am the outreach coordinator at the Dream Center in North Charleston, South Carolina, and I'm just glad to be here.
Fantastic. We love Pastor Pablo. We love Seacoast and we love Grace Church. I didn't dote on that because of the coffee situation. That really messed me up. Yeah, you guys are incredible. Pastor Pablo, you shared your coffee order, but maybe give us a refresh if we want to send you some love in the mail, a little gift card.
Well, I rarely go to coffee shops. I kind of like to make my own coffee at home because I can control my own how strong I want it and how much sugar I put on it. And most of the time I don't put sugar, but I think lately I've just been doing just regular lattes.
Regular lattes. I love it so much. You're frugal. That's fantastic. I really need to take lessons from all of you. Okay, Connor, I am stoked you are here today. How's it going?
Hey, thanks so much for having me on. I'm Connor. I'm coordinate the Serve program for Movement Church based in Charlottesville, Virginia.
Up north. You are awesome, Connor. You've been coming to meetups, serve meetups for quite a while now, and just hearing some of your ideas and your heart for your community and your church. You have such a heart for empowering the people in your church and getting them fired up and building that culture. So I've really learned a lot from you, and thank you for being here today. Thanks to all of you guys. Okay, so like I said, today is all holiday outreach. I want to get the full scope. Each of you guys, in one way or another, have shared some really like specifically amazing ideas that I was like, all right, we got to get y'all together. It's going to be a really jam-packed episode. So listeners, get your paper ready, whatever. It's going to be spitfire. So, are we ready? Cool. Okay, awesome. So, I'm going to start with fall outreach. Natalie, you guys did such a really cool idea for October 31st. Can you tell us the scope of that, the heart behind it, and some of the practicals?
Yeah, definitely. We actually hosted Light the Night around the city and around our community, and it was small group based. I really like to find opportunities to loop in other departments within our church. And so the small groups got together at whatever house they have their small group at regularly. Everybody came over and we equipped them with church invite cards, candy, like a Grace Church yard sign and a bounce house to attract the children. So it was a lot of fun. The small groups got to hang out, but most of all, it was really just a time for us to be intentional when there's people already out in neighborhoods mingling and socializing. It's a time for our church to be out and be the light in the darkness. So we hosted 10 locations around our community. And there was so much feedback, positive feedback that I got from it. Our small groups were encouraged, and the people that were invited, we've definitely had some new families come from that. We also, since it was on a Sunday, we wanted to loop in the whole church. And so we passed out little stacks of invite cards to the whole church after service and encourage them, if you're passing out candy, hand out an invite card while you're at it and represent the church.
It's so brilliant. I love it. And for listeners, Natalie has also shared like a quick guide on how they did this, all the details. So I will link to that, but you can go to servolution.org in the ideas bank and search Light the Night. And there's more information and a link to the guide. So thank you for sharing, Natalie. I think it's so cool because a lot of times churches, it can be taboo. What do we do for October 31st? You have to be so careful, but it's also such a brilliant opportunity because I remember I didn't do trick or treating growing up. Like that was not anything we did. But for the first time, I was a grown up and my brothers were like, let's go, let's just go see. And I remember being like, this is the only time neighbors talk to each other for a whole year. I've never talked to my neighbors, but this night people are engaged and they're open and they're talking. And so for you guys just to be so smart about how can we be intentional and literally light the night, I think it was just so beautiful. So that captivated my heart. And I love that it's a small groups thing because you went where people are and you just empowered them to do what they're already doing and elevated that. So brilliant idea. So cool. Do you guys, Connor, Pastor Pablo, did you guys do anything fun for fall? Like you don't have to say yes, but I just wanted to open it up if y'all had any fun ideas on that lane. Papa's like, nope, I'm good. He's saving it. He's got a lot for Thanksgiving,
We
though.
did, I can't take credit for it because it was all our kids director, Sarah, who organized the vast majority of it, but we had a pretty large trunk or treat event. We partnered with a local outdoor mall. We got some like local businesses and local charitable organizations involved. It was hard to estimate the amount of people that we served, but it was, we ballparked it at around 1,000. And it was just a really awesome opportunity. Like you said, you know, Halloween is a holiday that kind of gets overlooked a lot of the time, but it's also the holiday that like most emphasizes interaction with your neighbors and your community. So it's a really awesome opportunity for us to get involved and engage with people one-on-one, which is something that we've been working hard to have more opportunities to do.
I love that so much. I think it surprised me. Our church actually did a trunk or treat as well. And it surprised us because we were expecting what we had last year, which was like, 50 people. We had like triple, quadruple that. And I think coming out of COVID, people are even more so ready to engage and just like have experiences for once that are not virtual. And this year was so special. I love that you guys did it at a mall. I think that's so brilliant. Really, really fun. Everybody gets involved. That's fantastic. I saw a lot of trunk or treat this year, which is cool. Okay, awesome. So that was fall. Great stuff. Let's move into Thanksgiving. I know I'm going fast, but there's so much content today. It's going to be great. I'm going to start with you, Pastor Pablo. You shared some fun stuff, including deep fried turkeys. What's happening for Thanksgiving at Seacoast?
Oh gosh, where to even begin? So at the Dream Center, we've been doing Thanksgiving at Seacoast. That's the name of our church. And so what we started doing is just 11 years ago, we started doing what was just frying turkeys and engaging the church to provide side dishes. And on Thanksgiving morning, we'll do an assembly line at the gym in our church. And we'll just get a DJ and have music and have people and partners come and pick up hot dishes or hot plates with all the Thanksgiving stuff, and they set out to deliver it. We started working with police departments and other churches, and with COVID, it kind of tempered a lot of the progress on that. So what we ended up doing last year, we did a Thanksgiving kit dinner. Or dinner kit. So what there was is we just brought hundreds of turkeys and boxes with side dish ingredients for side dishes. And our mentality there was we wanted to give the dignity back to people. I mean, we can cook all day long. We could provide dinners every day, anytime. But we wanted to give it back to the families to allow them to create their own memories. And so what we did, we created conversation cards. It was really neat because we even, as a staff, we took the conversation cards at home And I personally will say I was not crying. I was crying because some of the stuff that we were talking about in a crazy year just reminded us of how grateful we are that we were where we are now, and how proud we are of our family and the people that we look up to. Is or at least in my family are within our circle. So I was just very grateful for that, and so we wanted to do that on the families that we were serving. So this year we're doing a hybrid model that we're frying 300 turkeys to provide close to 3,000 meals, engaging our church to do side dishes. And also on the side of that, we're working with schools in our area to provide the dinner kits that we made last year to provide to families so they can create their own experience at home as well. So so it's a lot of excitement, a lot of logistics going on. Because we work with other campuses, it kind of makes it tricky with communicating specifics to one campus versus the other. But we've been able to manage that pretty well. And so, yeah, we've been having a lot of fun for sure.
I love it. Always evolving and layering and figuring out what works. It's so cool. Can you tell us what kind of questions are on these conversation cards? I think it's so special. For your
Yeah. So some
sorry.
of the conversation cards, is that me? Did you guys hear that? No. Okay. So what we have actually is on the conversation cards, we have questions like, who do you look up to? And this year, who do you look up to, or what stood out to you the most? What's the thing that you appreciate from the person on your right? So kind of creating the conversations within the home that you kind of just, I mean, spark a conversation, just really do a little um, remembrance of within the year what happened and how you appreciate your family, or even if they're within the friends in the friend circle, how do you appreciate them? So you kind of go around, you pull a question and then you kind of pass it around. So people keep talking to this, they keep answering the same question, and then you keep pulling out and this is during dinner. So dinner is super long because there's so many side dishes, there's so many desserts. So if the conversation gets a little stale, this is a very good way to kind of keep things moving. So yeah, it's good.
I love it. I need that in my personal life. I'm so bad. Questions, small talk. That's such a thoughtful addition. I think I love watching when churches are able to layer on some of those ideas of like, how can we create more meaningful touch points for people? I think that's so cool. And I wanted to jump to Connor because in today's meetup, you shared a really cool component of the Thanksgiving outreach that you guys did or do with, well, I'll let you share. But it's something I had never really thought about the dynamic of. So tell us what y'all are doing for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, definitely. So every year we partner with a local school in our area. They're an alternative high school that serve kind of some underserved children who are in need of a little bit more care and attention. And we provide Thanksgiving meals, the supplies for Thanksgiving meals to all of the families that have students at that school. And one of the awesome things, the feedback that we've gotten from the staff of the school is that by serving every single family at the school, there are families who otherwise might not have been able to celebrate Thanksgiving. And that's awesome that we have that opportunity to give them God's love and grace in that way. But then there are other families who might have been able to celebrate Thanksgiving alone with their immediate family who are now resourced to invite over friends, to invite over extended family, and to share that love even further, which is such an awesome blessing, such an amazing opportunity to contribute to.
I love that so much. It's like I said before, but like it's something I hadn't really thought about. Like you could be so limited. And like even for me, I'm just now in a home that I could host people. And it's such a fun thing to be like, oh, I can have Thanksgiving at my house this year. I can invite whoever I want and I can really bless people. And so just to be able to give people, like Pastor Pablo, you said, like it's the dignity thing, it's being able to really empower people. And that's just something that I hadn't really processed before. So I love that that's a piece of the pie for you guys. I'm such a dork, the pie. Okay. Sorry, I'm on a day today. Okay. Natalie, you have shared with me about, I've made you share a dozen times what y'all are doing for Thanksgiving, but if you would share with our listeners, y'all have some great stuff going on too. What is happening?
Yeah, so I actually just finished sorting all the things that we were doing for Thanksgiving. And then I came back on here to do the podcast. So we actually decided that we wanted to do Thanksgiving dinner boxes. And we wanted to partner with local schools in our area because they typically already have identified the families that are in need. So it makes it a little bit easier to make sure it gets to the right hands. And so we started with a goal of 200 dinner boxes that we were going to distribute. And literally the first Sunday that we had it out in the hallway, those 200 were already like assigned, as far as there's families that were ready to fill up those boxes. And so the next Sunday, I had another 200 out. So we're doing a total of 400 Thanksgiving dinner boxes. People from our church received a box with a shopping list. They went grocery shopping. They came back with the filled box. And then we threw in a free Thanksgiving turkey voucher from HEB. HEB was so nice and is like the local grocery store here. And they donated 500 free turkey vouchers for us. So we were able to throw in a free turkey voucher in the box. And then I roped in our seniors. They always meet once a month. And so they were so kind enough to write handwritten notes to all of these families. And it's one of those significance things that, yes, it's so nice to be able to give the tangible, but a note and a scripture or an encouraging word goes so much further sometimes in a family and in their life. And so I'm just excited. Tomorrow and Thursday, we're going to be distributing these boxes to schools in our local area. I have more than enough. So we're also going to drop some off at a nonprofit that's serving a lower income community. And we're going to also drop some off at a homeless shelter that we support. And they not only don't accept donations for the shelter, but their heart really is to be the church within their community of where they're at. So they're also able to share the love and be able to distribute in their community as well. So yeah, it's been an exciting time. It was one of those outreaches where I told Tori on a phone call one day, hey, I have 500 turkey vouchers that were donated. How can I creatively turn this into something? And that's what came out of it. So
I love it so much. And I think it's crazy. Like, I don't know. I think it's so cool because the voucher is like a different spin on it. A lot of churches like usually have like these mounds of turkeys or hams, and that's amazing. It's fun to see, but I think it's so cool that the families get to go shopping for their own meat of choice. Or if you're a vegetarian, a different thing of choice. I don't know what the main dish would be. But it's so cool because it also logistically makes sense, especially right now. I've heard different areas, it's a little bit harder to come by some of those things like the turkey, whatever. So it's really cool, really fun way to do it. And then we also talked earlier today just about how smart it is that you have thought through how your church members can be involved in different capacities. So based on their gift sets, their skill sets, how can they just have a touch in this thing that our whole church is going to do? The seniors writing notes, and I know you shared about the college ministry or the young adults. What was that you guys did with them?
So the young adults ministry wanted to participate, but no offense to young adults out there, but I already knew ahead of time that if we gave young adults empty boxes, more than likely, they probably would just end up in the back of their car. They had good intentions to fill it, but they probably would forget. So we went ahead and just took up a cash offering, and the young adults staff team and interns went grocery shopping and filled the boxes. And so the young adults were able to help by supporting 20 families for Thanksgiving and be a part of that. But I think that my mentality in a lot of things is there's going to be people that are willing to give, they can give their finances, but they can't give their time. And then there's people that can give their time, but not their finances. And then there's people that maybe don't have the ability to do physical labor or, go out and serve, but they can sit there and write a note. And so we try to look for ways to engage each group in our church to be able to serve.
So good. That goes for outreach across the board. Like just being able to connect the dots and find people's gold. Like what's the gold inside of you and how do we plug that in somewhere? So you do that so well, Natalie. I love it. Um, Okay, so we have got Thanksgiving covered. Now I'd love to jump into Christmas, and you guys each have shared some incredible ideas. So I might mix up the way I sent the questions to you guys. I don't know. I want to ask Pastor Pablo. You told us about a really cool event that you guys are planning, and even during COVID, I remember watching you guys reach out to this people group and just some of the really cool ideas that you guys have had, and to see that evolve and grow into this Christmas idea is so exciting. What is up your sleeve?
Yeah. So this ministry started during the time of COVID. This single parents ministry. I don't know about you guys, but we have kids, and my wife and I work, and it was hectic trying to juggle work, family, and being at home with school and all that stuff. So it was kind of tricky for us. And as we were talking about it, we started asking, is like, how are single parents doing on this? How are they dealing with it? So we started with providing dinners. We got together and we worked with Chick-fil-A, Little Caesars, and other restaurants that were willing to provide dinners for these families. And we just got small groups to be able to get together and set out to deliver them and write notes and pray for the people, for these families. And it took off. It took off. It was just more like, hey, let's provide dinner this month, and then God knows what happens next. So it's been a day-to-day, month-to-month type of thing, and we just keep getting blown away. On July, in the month of July, we had a business who wanted to put together a Christmas in July event, and so they did it for the single moms, and it was just a blast. The whole they took care of everything, which, by the way, is the best outreach, when the good work gets done without you having to do much. So that was a lot of fun, just to be able to see it and be part of it, and just on the behind the scenes. But it continues. And my our lead pastor, Josh Surratt, went to a church in Texas, and they saw this. I believe it was Gateway Church, where they actually did this kind of events where, for the single moms, that it's just Park is like, we should try it and see how it goes. So we came together, and so what we're gonna be doing, it's we're gonna be collecting gift cards for Christmas through the congregation, and our women's ministry. It's gonna be pretty much they took it up upon themselves to raise all the gift cards through their ministry. And then in December, close to Christmas, we're gonna host a Christmas party where we get to watch the kids. The moms go out, buy the gifts, and while we watch the kids and play with them and have a party, we get gifts for the moms at the location, so the kids can wrap the gifts for the moms. And then after that, we'll still have like ornaments and things that they can do, little notes for moms, and then they can go watch a movie. And while they do that, we'll have the single moms come back, and then they can wrap their own gifts for their kids. So that way they're set up, and they don't have to worry about it in the weeks to come or the days to come. And hopefully they have a great time. So we're super excited, and yeah, it'll be our first time, so we'll tell you how it goes, and some recommendations on the futures, but we're excited.
Yeah, please take good notes, because I'm gonna come back and be like, can you make a guide for us, please? Can you make a manual? We need to learn how to do this. I love that y'all thought through the kids being able to give back to the parents. That is such a special thing to be able to do. And I've seen a few dream centers and churches try different ideas like that. I went to one, it was a shopping mall, but they also had like this craft zone for the kids. And there were all kinds of crafts they were able to make for their parents. And I think that you guys thinking through that is so special because you're instilling the generosity in the child, and just that gift of being able to give back to a parent is so special. So, and I also love just the way that you guys fell in love with this pocket of people more than ever through COVID, and just how meeting a small need has evolved into something so big. Like, really, it's a whole ministry. And that's just a testimony to the people who are listening today. Like, you may have an idea in your heart and it may be something so simple, but you just never know the favor that could be behind it, and like the ministry God wants to do through that. So keep showing up, keep being faithful, because it's going to be awesome. I love that idea, Pastor Pablo. Thank you for sharing. I want to go, let me jump to Natalie on y'all's Christmas stuff. I know you'll have some really cool ideas brewing as well. What's up?
Yeah. So we are doing a toy drive, and we are actually starting that this Sunday. And so we're going to transform part of the hallway just to set up some Christmas trees, and we're going to display all the toys. So that way the church can see just how, how successful it is and how amazing it is. It's one of those things, like when you see it with your eyes of the impact that what a church can do when they come together, it does something for families and for people. So what we'll do is we'll have Christmas trees out with tags on them, and each tag will have a specific age range and gender. And so you get to pick, I want to support, or I want to buy a gift for a 3rd grade year old girl, or maybe I have a, 1st grade year old girl. It's one of those things when you can go shopping with your kids. And so you pick that out, and then your kid can shop for a little girl that's her age. And it goes all the way up to 12th grade, because we all know that when it comes to toy drives, the first thing people think of is younger kids, and the older kids, like high school age, usually get forgotten. And so we do encourage on the back of each of the tags that's going to be on the Christmas tree, for each age group, there will be a list of gift ideas. And so on there, we're putting books, we're putting gift cards for the older kids, and we'll give specific age range or age group ideas on what they can get for each kid. And last year was the first year that we did it, and it was a huge success. So one of the ways that we're going to distribute all of these toys once we get them is we're going to host a toy shop day. So we'll set up a whole toy store where parents that are in need can come, and we'll treat it just like a store. We want them to be able to have that experience of shopping for their kid. And it is one of those dignity things, you're giving them the option of what they want to pick out for their kid. So they come in, we have a shopping cart for them. We have little shopping bags, and they pick out 3 different items for each kid that they have. We do encourage that you pick 1 book, or if you have an older kid, pick a gift card. And then we'll have a gift wrapping station available for them, and we'll gift wrap it for them. We'll load it in their car, and all they have to do is put it under their tree. And so one of those outreaches that I really love, because it's fun to be able to shop with them and just talk with them. But then you always have the opportunity to pray with them at the end and encourage them before they leave. So we'll do the toy shop day. And then the following Saturday, we will do a toy distribution drive-through at the homeless shelter that we support. And the community will come through and just drive through, tell us what age kids they have, and we'll be able to distribute a toy to them as well. And that's always fun, just because anytime I can be face to face with the person that's getting or receiving the gift, I love for our volunteers to have that experience. And I love for, just our team to be able to see that firsthand, what it does for a family. So yeah, we have the toy drive, and then we will do a prayer at the hospital. We partner with our local hospitals around here, and especially through COVID, the emotional health of all of these doctors and nurses has just been, they've been struggling, and it hasn't really stopped. And so we're going to go, and we're going to sing Christmas carols outside of the hospital. We're going to pray for them as they are leaving for the day shift and coming for the night shift. And just really trying to create a environment of peace and of comfort before they head in for their shift or as they're leaving.
So good. I tell you what, Grace Church, like I told you, Natalie, during COVID, it was like when I started seeing you guys, like I know you've done outreach forever, but you guys exploded creatively, consistently, and just like getting to know you guys and the ideas are just nonstop. There are so many cool things y'all are doing and things that you think through and just the intentionality. I love seeing how you are so intentional and creative to connect the dots, to build partnerships and really like cover the bases, just to think about the people that y'all have thought through and the experience that you're making sure people get to have is incredible. So great ideas. I think anybody could really take those and run with them and replicate them at their church. So great stuff. I think we need a drum roll for this next one. This is like one of the coolest ideas. Connor, you guys have something so special planned for Serve Day. I mean, for Christmas, not for Serve Day. What if I just gave it away? Connor, what's going on?
Okay, so I guess if people are watching this episode later and you've got the title, it's already kind of spoiled anyway, so you don't have to feel too bad. But we're doing a 12 Serve Days of Christmas campaign at Movement Church. One of the things that we've been really cognizant of over the last year, we're called Movement Church, right? So our goal has been like mobilizing our church to be a movement of God's kingdom. So all year, we've been thinking about, getting people plugged into opportunities, giving people the opportunity to take what's on their heart and like give it out to the community. So we've been building up and building up and building up. And for December, for Christmas this year, we're going to capitalize on that holiday spirit. And we have 12 opportunities throughout the month of December for our church to give back and to love the community. Kind of a lot of them are centered around our Sunday services. So like we'll get our church pumped up by our fantastic worship band. They'll get pumped up by our awesome lead pastor, and they'll go out into the lobby and immediately have something tangible that they can do to give back to the community. Whether that's we're going to be collecting gift cards for some of the shelters that we support. We're going to be doing gift wrapping for a migrant camp that's in our area. We're going to be doing lots of Christmas card writing and like letters and notes of encouragement and prayer. And the idea is, they come right out of service, they have something awesome to do to get back to the community, and they're just fired up throughout the week. And then we give them even more opportunities to get plugged into organizations throughout our area so that we can really be the movement that's our name, right? And show the love of God's kingdom.
This is so cool. I have not heard of a church doing this before, and it really caught my attention because I think you guys know if you're leading outreach, you know that people are ready to give back during Christmas. A lot of times they're like, I remember you would always have to like triple your volunteer opportunities during Christmas because people just want to get involved. And sometimes that can be like, dang it, why don't y'all serve your route? Like, where have y'all been all this time? But I think it's so brilliant, Connor, what y'all are doing to be strategic and like this is that time, let's capitalize on that, not in a weird way but just like it's time to empower you guys, like get your feet wet, show you a taste of like what could be happening all year, and this is like your chance to build on that momentum and push people into that and that heart. So I think that's so cool. I know you gave some examples of what you guys are doing, like the hands-on serves and things like that. Can you show us a little bit practically, like how you're advertising this 12 serve days of Christmas beyond the Sunday after church experiences? Is it a DIY kind of a thing, like go out on your own, or what other opportunities are planned?
Yeah, so our kind of one of our key methods of getting the sort of like actual projects done is we're mobilizing through some of our small groups, which we like to call movement groups. We like to pray and stuff through our movement groups. And then we actually have a youth group that meets twice a month. And so they'll be doing some of them as well. So the idea is we can kind of take these individual groups that are already, they're already discipling together, they're already doing life together. And then we can kind of add this next layer of now you can love your community together, which we've given some small opportunities in the past for our movement group specifically to do work in the community through the SERVE program, but this is going to be kind of the biggest opportunity for them to really make a tangible difference. Yeah.
I love that. And it kind of goes back to what I was talking with Natalie about, just like making sure that there's a reflection, like your whole church is being able to be reflected in the expression of the community and expression of serving. So absolutely brilliant idea. Thank you for sharing that. I feel like we're going to see a lot of these popping up now. I'm going to be watching like, oh, it's another 12 serve days of Christmas. I think I might just do it with my family. I think it's such a cool idea. Okay, one more serve that I wanted to highlight. It's kind of a bonus serve. Pastor Pablo, you guys are doing something really cool for the winter. What is that?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that kind of what you're saying. We kind of had to create opportunity for our serve teams, for our church to actually step into this time of the year, because everybody wants to be part of something. I feel like everybody wants to close a year knowing that they did something good, and knowing that that they love well. And I think it's a good way to end the year after a crazy year. So so for us, it's been awesome because Thanksgiving and everything has been like the church has been moving a lot during the last year. So so when we did all this, we kind of got the attention from the mayor of our city, and they actually approached our church to see if we will be willing to do a homeless shelter, a shelter for homeless for cold nights. And so our team from our main campus, or our Mount Pleasant campus, and our West Ashley campus that are looking to turn into a dream center in the future, they took on this task, and so they're going to be turning their campus, their church building, into a warming shelter whenever the temperature reaches a certain level of cold and outside. So so yeah, we're looking at how we can actually best serve them during that time. We're looking at potentially getting showers for them that are mobile. Maybe like a laundromat that is mobile. So we're trying to figure out ways that we can best serve them, because we just don't want them to have them come and spend the night and then we'll see you later. We want to be able to really make an impact, and so we're trying to figure those details. And but yeah, it's exciting. It's the first time doing it, so we're just planning as we go, and we'll let you know at the end.
I love it.
Same
I
thing.
put everybody on the spot. I'm like, oh, you're gonna try this? Okay, let's talk about it. Let's blast it, and we're all gonna follow
Yes.
along and learn from your mistakes. And no, you guys are gonna do amazing. And I know the heart that you carry, Pastor Pablo, that Seacoast, the culture there is so, it's just so much about the presence of the Holy Spirit and letting him really lead those personal encounters. And so I know that's gonna translate into this warming shelter. And I think it's cool. I was just thinking, like, it's not just for the northern states that experience these hard winters. Like, if nothing, it could be more so for some of the more southern states. Like, I remember being in Birmingham, and it was like people did not know what to do when it got freezing. And so that's when those warming centers came in handy more than anything, because it was like, we don't know what to do with the cold weather night. So it's just such a practical thing. I feel like it's not necessarily the simplest, but if you have the space, I think it could be just such a win, building relationship with the community, with the local government. It's just a really, really blessing kind of an opportunity. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so thank y'all so much. I know we're coming up on time. I wanted to just ask you guys, if people want to follow along on what you're doing or watch outreach stories happening, how can we find you on social media or online? Natalie?
Yeah, so we have an outreach Instagram and Facebook. It's at Grace Loves TX. And then our church Instagram and Facebook is at Grace Houston TX. So we usually will post out most outreaches on our church page, but if you want to see even more outreach, you can follow our outreach page.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Connor, how can we follow you guys?
First, it might not translate when I say it out loud, but movement, we spell MVMNT. It's sort of stylized. So you can find our website at movementchurch.com. You can find us on Facebook at Movement Church, and on Instagram at We Are Movement Church.
Perfect. Got it. We will link to that in the notes. Thank you so much. And Pastor Pablo?
Yeah, I deleted my MySpace page, so we're gonna move on from that one. I'm just kidding. For probably some people don't even know what MySpace is, but anyways, Actually, our Instagram account is NCH Green Center.
Perfect. That's new. Awesome. Okay. Thank y'all so much again. This was like I said, spitfire kind of an episode, and it was packed with wonderful stuff. And we thank y'all. We honor you. Thank you for just the investment you've made into the Servolution community as well as your local communities. We're going to be praying for you guys, and listeners. Thank y'all for taking your time today to hang out. We will see you next time on the Serve Brew. Happy Thanksgiving. Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Bye.